Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger, and I'm going to be doing a full tank review on the 50 TP. As you are aware, this is an event that is going on that allows you to get this tank for free. This is a Tier 9 heavy. It's a very strong tank, and it is certainly worth the effort in trying to get it. We talked about this in a video earlier about getting the Brother in Arms medals to help speed up that. You can also complete your daily clan missions, and then at the end of the week, if you've gotten 7 missions done, you're going to get an additional 135 steel ingots to go towards the 1,000 that you need. You can't buy it until you get to 700, and then it is available for gold. And again, this event ends on the 11th, and primarily get it by getting those Brothers in Arms missions. So platoon up with somebody in your clan. Both of you need to get 2 kills. You both need to survive and win the battle in order to get that medal. So let's jump into the garage here. And yeah, so you can see quite clearly that this tank has a lot of track to it. The hull is not very wide in the front. It's got that spiked, sloped armor, and it's got some really nice rounded turret. Reminds me a little bit of the K91. But real quick, just want to run through my setup, which is repair kit, multi-purpose, and adrenaline. Provisions, running cheese, head, improved fuel, and cinnamon roll. 22, 12, and 6, making sure we're buying that with credits. That's just a rough loadout. I don't think I've ever had a battle where I've used 22 rounds of AP there. But the most important part, equipment. I am running calibrated shells just because the pen on this is one of the few weak spots, I feel. Your damage per minute is also pretty low, so it would be nice to get that damage per minute up there to 2,300. And we'll see that when I compare the tanks, just how low that is. But your pen does suffer. To me, making sure your shot's pen is more important than increasing a damage per minute number. If you can't pen, you're not doing any damage per minute. Defense system, improved optics. I'm running enhanced gun laying drive. Shell velocity on this tank is right at 1,000. Plus, you're going to be up close. You should be anyway, because you're in a heavy tank. So you shouldn't really have to worry about that pen loss over distance or the accuracy by having a higher shell velocity. I am running enhanced armor just to get that 4%. The armor on this tank is really strong, especially when you're up tiered, although that hasn't happened to me twice in about 10 battles. So the tank certainly holds its own against the tier 10s for sure. Engine accelerator. And you can see here, I am running refined gun just in order to get that dispersion down a little bit. If you find yourself kind of more of a brawler in this tank and you're moving and shooting at the same time, I would suggest switching over to vertical stabilizers. But I try to find positions where I'm hold down, I can wait, I can shoot, and allow that aim time to be a little bit more accurate. Toolbox and consumable delivery system. All right, guys, here's blitzstars.com. We've got the 50 TP up on the left. The KPF PZ70 and K91 are both premium tanks, very similar in play style, I find. And then we've got some of the other tech tree tanks here just to do a more complete comparison. But you'll see right off the bat here at 2,143, our damage per minute number is really low. You've got the E75 and the KPF there as the only tanks that are lower. And then when you throw in the fact that our pen is 246, all of these tanks in green, these tech tree tanks have more DPM and more pen. What I do like about this tank is the 440 in average damage. You know, that's my biggest gripe here with the KPF, is that when you miss a shot, it's a huge penalty because you've got a much longer reload of 16 seconds. Whereas in the 50 TP, the 12 seconds doesn't seem that bad. And you're doing a nice amount of damage. So it's a nice little trade-off there. 122 millimeter, like we said, 1,000 is your shell velocity. We move on down here to the gun handling. You got 2.45 seconds of aim time with a 0.34 dispersion. Of course, that's without the equipment. We've got that down to almost zero point 0.3 with the equipment. 8 degrees of gun depression is probably another nice attribute for this tank, as is the 48 kilometers per hour. You can see all of these tanks, except for the IS-8, it's faster than, right? And the IS-8, and we'll see that in a couple battles, is more of a medium, run with the mediums in your ISA because you just don't have the armor. But with the 50 TP, you do have that armor. So that is what makes this tank stand out, I think, especially compared to the other premium heavy tanks, is you've got that mobility. Almost 16 in your horsepower to ton weight ratio, as 16.3 there in the IS-8. So the tank is going to feel a lot like driving an IS-8 if you have one of those. And you'll see here your non-modified traverse speed of 30 degrees per second. Again, it's the fastest tank to turn of these heavies that I've pulled up, and almost the fastest in driving speed. And that's it's a way extra benefit for having that heavy tank. And then just wanted to talk about the turret armor here. We've got 270 on the front, but only 80 on the hull. So you really have to be conscious about keeping this tank hull down as much as possible, using that 8 degrees of gun depression, and really relying on that frontal turret armor. And as you can see, as we jump on over here to Armor Inspector, just how effective this armor is here at 384, 430, 536. The two little weak spots here on the turret are going to be these, I guess you'd call them the side cheeks a little bit. Haven't really noticed getting shot from the hatch yet, but it's still early. I haven't played a whole lot of battles. When we look at the tank here, obviously that lower plate, you've really got to do a good job hiding that 131 as the effective, but 409 here. This armor is so sloped on the front. We've got a little bit of spaced armor on the sides there with the skirts. But let's switch this over to, kind of the pen mode here. It gives you a better idea. And this is getting shot at by another 50 TP. So you can see, depending upon the angle that you're at, these top sides here of the turret are supposedly pennable, and obviously the lower part of the glacis and this upper part of the hull. But what I like about the tank here is that you've got so much track in front of you that, if you're looking at somebody and they're about to shoot at you, you just wiggle it from side to side. And if they're aiming, let's say they're aiming in this area here, and you throw your track in front of it, there's a lot of times you can get a good track shot and not take damage with this tank. And let's see and put that into play here as we move into some gameplay. All right, guys, here is my very first battle in the 50 TP. You can see I am tuned up here with Tank Destroyer, and he's got his 50 TP as well. And I'm looking at the lineup on the enemy team here, and with the Leopard, WZ, and the Skoda over there, I'm thinking there's a strong possibility that they will push to the light medium side on this map. And since I'm in a platoon with the 50 TP, and I know we have the mobility of a heavy tank, more mobile at 48 kilometers per hour, we can run with the meds in this tank, which is what makes it so special, in my opinion. I like it just like the IS-8 in that regard. And sure enough, as we're going to come around the corner here, we've got 3 players. We're going to get a shot into the side of the turret on that Leopard. You can see Tank Destroyer bouncing the first shot there. We've got to figure out how to share this space. But wanting to get damage in here, and I know we've got tank numbers, so if we just push, I can bleed a little bit of hit points. Trying to wiggle, and we're just getting nailed here, but we get one of them out, and the other two are very low health. And down they go. So just like I had hoped, we take out their tanks. Getting pushed from behind there, still able to hit that shot. Kronwagen, we really appreciate your assistance there. But please learn to drive a little bit better than that. You can see here, we're at 1,800 damage. It's about 4 shots landed. And as I expected, their team split. There's the 50 TP profile in game, and you can see there's some red and some pinnable spots there. We managed to get just above the track and get that in. So, very much able to keep this tank in the fight because of the mobility. Trying to get behind that garbage container there, but was unable to and took a shot. So that puts me down as a 1 shot. So now we have to start being a little bit more careful. The tank just it hits so hard, and the accuracy is enough. I mean, it's not perfect. You'll see a shot where I miss coming up, but we managed. What a great trade that was. Max rolled 550, and we took the bounce in return. But you'll see here, you know, trying to lead that shot a little bit, and it goes behind and low. So now we're just going to angle up behind this garbage container, and we can put one more shot in, and then hide on up, get that bounce. And we finished with 4,000 damage relatively quickly because the tank just, it hits hard. That's all I can really say. You know, it's a good game by the three of us really had a good game there by pushing that corner and taking, but that's 10 shots, 4,000 damage in a very short game. So really liking this tank. All right, guys, here we are, Faust. And you can see here, looking at the lineup, they've got 4 heavies. We've got 3 heavies, including this IS-8. IS-8, yeah, right here. And to be honest with you guys, I really don't consider the IS-8 to be a heavy tank. It just does not have the armor to play that role. So watching these two guys, you know, go onto the heavy side, knowing that there's a strong possibility that their team is going to be on that side is a little bit disappointing here at first. But the IS-8 takes a very interesting route, kind of into the middle, so that, you know, that's now going to set me up for some potential crossfire shots. So I'm going to sit here and just look for some potential shots as they come down the ramp. And you can see here where that IS-8 is. If anyone kind of goes after him, there's a good chance I'm going to have a shot in on him. Some serious driving skills there. And yeah, we just fudged that one. And you know what I'm noticing? I don't know if it's like server lag or if it's me just not being good anymore. I don't know how to say it, but I'm noticing that my fire button does not fire exactly when I think it is. And so they've pushed that IS-8. I should have been more aware of that. I'm going to drop adrenaline and drop down here and try to help him out. And yeah, that's what happens when you shoot the IS-4. The tank just trolls. Got some special armor on it or something. But we'll try to put that object down to a 1 shot. The IS-4 is not paying me any attention, so we'll get reloaded again, and we can see if we can do a little bit better this time. And yeah, just no idea where that shot went. But I've noticed an opportunity now to kind of swing around here and get back up on the bridge. And we've got this AMX kind of trapped now. So I'll be coming up behind him. We can load the HE. And let's see. Only do 440. Not great. Not much different than a regular AP roll there. But what you'll notice through these games here is what I think my favorite part about this tank here is its ability to relocate with its speed and stay in the battles. I mean, say if I was in something much heavier, much slower with only a 30 km/h top speed, I'm not able to make changes as easily to the direction. We've got 3 guys now on 5. We've got them cornered, and really they can't do much. So we'll just push on in here. And just a word of warning, don't shoot the gun mantlet of the FV-183. Should have had 400 more damage there. And certainly can't pen a tier 10 VK. So we'll wait for him to turn out sideways on us, and look at that, just get ripped apart. And now we've got a dead carcass to save us from the 183. So what I liked about that game there is you saw the ability to kind of cut back, to go back through and help those heavies. And really the IS-8 here, you know, while he didn't do a lot of damage, he really set that game up, making them push out into the open. It worked in our favor. All right, guys, here we are on Naval Frontier again as bottom tier. And this one turns out to be a really fun game, and really focusing on conserving those hit points. Again, we've got another IS-8, and he's going to be a little bit vocal in this game. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So just keep an eye out to my left there. The IS-8 says he's driving to A. And we've got the Bat Chat and the TVP here coming over with me. And I like to come to the middle and get these early shots in there. I was obviously very lucky as we weren't even aimed in. The T-54 there and most of their team going down to A. I don't really expect them to be going up to C. We get a bounce out of the Kronwagen, and we try our luck with a second shot. And you saw that shot went much higher than I was aiming, so poor trade on my part. And now we've got the Sidewinder, and the T-62 is going to be up there as well, I believe. But back to my left, I was going to pull out and try to help on the T-54, but no need. So there's an object 140 up there, my bad, not the T-62. But again, I don't want to pull out into the middle here, just because I'm not 100% sure where everyone is. Bad Chat's calling for help, and probably after watching this, I expected those 2 guys to push onto the Waffentrager, and I was hoping to get a shot as they drop down the hill. But they're not going to do that. So, you know, I'm kind of sitting here watching my team fold at A, and you'll see the IS-8 is backing up. And yeah, I'm just making a mess of this, quite honestly, guys. And there's the IS-8, but he's getting pushed on, and I want to stay with the majority of my team. Just because there's no, I just didn't feel comfortable staying back there with the IS-8 while he got pushed on by 4 other tanks. So he's going to go down quite quickly because of that. And, you know, rightly so, he's going to say, why didn't you help me? And I just didn't think that holding the line there at that point in time was really appropriate. And you can see we're only at 864 damage right now. Yeah, I just didn't think that, you know, holding the line against 4 tanks there was a smart move. Staying here with my teammates here, trying to get shots in. So now that they're all focused in on the middle, I'm going to go push on the Waffentrager. Get a nice lucky bounce there for sure. And yeah, so now it's time for the Foch to lay his 2 cents into the game. Meanwhile, Foch did 0 damage, so not sure what that's worth. Able to keep the Waffentrager engaged. And we're down a tank here, 3 on 2. You see how I was using the side of that hill there to help me get extra gun depression. And we're going to go take A back. So I've noticed that the Yo there is a one-shot, and I just want to get him out of the game here. I'm willing to take a shot or 2 from the Kron. Certainly did not want to get tracked there, and certainly did not want to lose my engine there. And so, yeah, if this Yo does not push forward there and let me shoot his hull, he probably survives that, and that probably would have been a really bad move on my part. But for now, we've got the high ground. I've got the 8 degrees of gun depression, and I've got a bat chat here who's going to come in and help out, even though the IS-8 saying that the team was dumb. So there goes the bat chat, and we're taking B back, and old Yo is looking the other way, so we can slip one in there. He's going to have to make a move because he's going to lose on cap points if he doesn't. Obviously, I don't want to get killed and leave the bat chat there alone. So once he is engaged, I'm going to push on down here. We'll get 1 shot in and back away to safety and let the bat chat finish him off. And this was a nice, fun game. And a game, you know, that I wanted just to put in here just because of some, you know, it was a nice, fun game. What else can I say? But here's the IS-8 with 820 in damage. That would have been me had I not pushed around, because as you saw, I was at 800 damage when the IS-8 went down, and we've managed to finish there at over 3,000. All right, guys, we are finally top tier. Hellas. And taking a look, they've got 4 heavies, so my guess is that they'll go heavy. And I don't mind that because, you know, if I can get into position, I should be set up to be able to get some good damage in. So we're gonna push on around here, and I like to go behind that mound in front of me, just because you're a little bit higher on the right side and you can get shot by some of the faster heavies. And then we can come back and around here, and we can use this lower broken bit there of Coliseum to get hull down. And we'll just snap a quick one in on the KV-5. I don't think he was quite expecting that. Trying to see back if he was still there, but not spotted. So we've got the M8 coming in. That shot goes, the M6. That shot just was a little bit behind where I wanted it. But as you can see, they're dancing around left and right. We managed to get him to shoot into the track, and I'm still wiggling. I'm like, hit my track, hit my track. Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen every time, that's for sure. But how about this? We can pen the side shoot there of the M103. And I'm making a thought here. Do I run and try to stop Cap? And yeah, that's gonna cost me a big amount of damage. We've got the FCM with no armor just sitting out there on top of the hill. And Cap's been taken care of, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's not pull back and get shot again. FCM's running for it here, and that did not work out well for him. So I'm assuming that was the Waffentrager that shot me, and that was just poorly aimed shot. Again, when I think I'm shooting and when it actually shoots, two different things, so that's kind of a little bit disappointing here. Need to work on getting that. Look at the Swiss cheese front of that Malshin there. M103 not paying us any bit of attention. And he is taken out. Malshin just fired, so we've got time here to move on in and go for the kill shot. And this is a mistake on my part, guys. Load the APCR and guarantee yourself that kill. But he angles it up nicely. But can't hide from everybody on my team. KV5. Gonna come in here and shoot that side turret again. And you can see the accuracy on this gun is quite good. I think it plays better statistically as we bounce another from that 4KV5. And again, okay, we've loaded the APCR, but this shot just goes low. Making sure I wanted to get that kill. But T49 is going to come in there and finish him off. And kind of a lopsided game. But just wanted to show you the ability to hold the heavy side here. And I've loaded HE, and yeah, I know better than that. Again, my shot is just being a little bit later than when I think it is. And we destroyed that soft cover. Should have just gone with AP and guaranteed some damage instead of trying to maximize an HE roll there. But 3,800 damage again. And this tank is just smooth. The gun is really nice. You know, these type of games can be very consistent. 1,100 XP is only getting us a level 3 at the moment. So you can see a lot of really strong battles out there. And that's 9 shots landed for 3,800 damage. So I think this is a great event. And I really hope that you guys get the opportunity to get the tank. It's definitely well worth it for free. As always, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.